So a statement from the Nigerian police yesterday disclosed that 3 out of the 5 students mentioned by Sylvester on his dying bed are in their custody, aiding with the investigation. Okay. They also disclosed that the principal and some of the members of staff of Dowen College are also assisting with information to help with the ongoing investigations into the murder case of Sylvester. It was also mentioned that 2 out of the 5 students mentioned are at large, meaning it wasn't a lie when that little girl told her aunt in that video that circulated. I played that video on Saturday. Yeah, so it wasn't a lie that some of the parents had actually flown their kids out of the country. Yes, to shoot them, to protect them from justice. Anyways, guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Glory Elijah, and this is Frankly Speaking with Glory. I am the girl with the T. And on this video, we will be focusing on how to prove Sylvester's murder case. Now, in as much as I am not a legal practitioner, in as much as I literally have to depend on my lawyer to do anything that has to do with the law in this country, guys, I know for a fact that this Sylvester's case is gonna be very, very tricky. Why? Because it involves minors. Yes, it involves minors. Correct me if I am wrong, but every student involved in this case, they are not up to the age of 18. And I also am aware that the penalty for murder in Nigeria is also death. Yes. And so, guys, it's a very, very dicey situation. And so I've been having conversations with people around me. I've been asking questions that what is the best way exactly? You know, how possible is it that those students who are responsible for bullying and beating up Sylvester, resulting in his death, yes, how possible is it that they can be convicted? How possible is it that it can be proven, yes, that they are actually the cause of Sylvester's death? Because, guys, we live in a society where there can be ways that this whole thing can be manipulated. This is not me trying to be a harbinger of bad news, but I'm just talking about the obvious facts here, guys. I mean, there can be ways that this whole thing can be manipulated, and that is what we do not want. So this is a call out to every single one of you out there that is watching this video right now, that understands the law of Nigeria, how it works, that is also knowledgeable about criminal law in Nigeria. Guys, please let us know in the comment section below the best way possible that Sylvester's family can prove via their lawyer, that's Falana, that indeed the students mentioned as the culprits are actually responsible for Sylvester's murder in the comment section below. Let's just quickly get into the short article that this particular lawyer highlighted some of his points, some of his own ways. Just going to go ahead and read them out and then briefly talk about it whilst I leave the rest to all of you to contribute in the comment section below. Let's start. This lawyer's name is Barrister Street, and one of the first points he highlighted is that, first of all, Falana, that is the lawyer representing Sylvester's family, yes, will have to prove that the bullies caused the death of Sylvester through beatings and substance poisoning. Now, according to him, he said that because this is a case of murder, Falana will have to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that these bullies did kill Sylvester, that is the biggest test. So I asked myself a question, that how can Falana prove beyond all reasonable doubt that indeed those students are actually responsible and are the cause of Sylvester's death? Now, he said that proof beyond reasonable doubt is proof that leaves you firmly convinced of the bully's guilt. This proof must be of such a convincing character that a reasonable person would not hesitate to rely and act upon it. Now, the next question is, how can Falana establish this? Now, he said the first piece of evidence will be to get the autopsy report on Sylvester's cause of death. Now, guys, if you cast your mind back to the interview that Sylvester's father had with Arise News TV, yes, he mentioned that the specialist who carried out the autopsy had mentioned that they found a black liquid substance in Sylvester's bloodstream, and it had caused confusion for that person, and the person had actually recommended that the Lagos state government or the Delta state government, take up the case from there to find out what exactly that substance is. So that is one of the first piece of evidence. Now, according to this lawyer, he stated that this autopsy will reveal to us the circumstances that led to Sylvester's death. Was it as a result of the beating by the bullies, or did he indeed sustain football injuries as the school claimed, or was he poisoned? Now guys, let's also remember that Sylvester, on his dying bed with his last breath, he had actually confessed that he was beaten on top of his bed. He fell down, they had beaten him more, they had stepped on him, his head, his body, his bones, and after the beating they had forced him to drink a liquid substance which he had no knowledge about because the room was dark. They had actually turned off the light, so everything happened in darkness. Now, this lawyer also mentioned something very interesting. He mentioned that that confession that Sylvester made on his dying bed with his last breath is termed in law as a dying declaration. For those of you who are lawyers, please go ahead and elaborate on that. Please enlighten us so that we can have full understanding of all of these legal terms and mentions. Now, according to this lawyer, you see that dying declaration, it is very, very important. It is a very, very strong piece of evidence. However, it is the autopsy report, yes, if it reveals that indeed Sylvester's death was actually as a result of the beating and the poisoning, that is when that dying declaration comes in handy. That is when it actually stands valid. Another interesting thing that this lawyer also stated is that to add to that piece of evidence, that is the autopsy report, the dying declaration from Sylvester before he passed on, if the lawyer, that is Falana, can trace and call in other victims that have been bullied by the accused student, then it will give support to Sylvester's dying declaration, which is already a piece of evidence. So guys, this is the part where we have to actually appeal to all those parents who have been coming out to give their own testimonials of how their children have been battered in one way or the other, having experienced the same madness from Dowen College. This is where we are now appealing to those parents that they should please come out to speak out, allow their children to stand in as witnesses. I know that this is a very, very difficult demand or request, from the public, but it would also go a long way to help justice prevail. It will also go a long way to ensure that Dowen College, if they open up the school, because to be very honest with you guys, with the look of things, that school is going to be open. It's not going to be shut down forever and ever, because I have heard rumors of the connections attached to that school. Yes, so if the school eventually comes up open again, that they do the right thing, they take the right steps to ensure that bullying ends permanently in that school. So this is the time that parents should please lend their voices to this case, because trust me, Sylvester is not the first, he is not the only child that has been succumbed to such madness. And guys, sadly, he died. There are other children too. I mean, in yesterday's video, I played a video of a mother crying and lamenting during a Zoom meeting with some of the parents from Dowen College, lamenting about how her son was subjected to the same exact treatment. So guys, please, parents out there, this is the chance, especially parents that have children in Dowen College that have been coming out to give their own testimonials. It's not just about stating it all out on social media. When the time comes, please, they should be able to come out, allow their children to also testify. And the last information that this lawyer stated was that in Nigeria, to secure a conviction might run into months, might take a long period of time. And guys, we know how these things work in Nigeria. When a case is being dragged for weeks, for months, it might now start running into years. And guys, we know what that means. That is one of my biggest fears in all of this, that this thing should not drag too much to the point that people now start getting exhausted and now saying, okay, oh, let's just allow sleeping dogs lie. Guys, that is why for us, the general public who are standing by, as spectators in this case, we should still continue to lend our voice to ensure that justice prevails. Because the moment everybody loses focus, the moment everybody keeps quiet about it and goes about their own business, trust me, we know what's going to happen. Everybody will just assume that, okay, fine, people have forgotten about what happened, so let's just move on with life. And that's why I'm still appealing that, guys, please, let us continue to remind the authorities that justice has to prevail, that the perpetrators needs to be brought to book. That said, this is where I'm just going to end this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Glory Elijah. As I said, guys, please go ahead and let me know your thoughts. If there's anything you need to add, contribute to all that this lawyer has actually highlighted in his short article, please just go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Glory Elijah. Have an amazing day. Bye.